I guess just to start, you close regulation with Brooke on the floor, close overtime without. Obviously, Andre is now the one contesting. Just what went into that decision, and then how did you see that last play out?
The last play?
Yeah, Tyrese's.
Yeah, we drew it up. They run it a lot. The only broken part of it, we didn't want him to go back to his right, for the most part, and we needed someone there. So still made a runner, tough shot. And the thing you don't want to do is foul, because now you can still tie the game. So having to tie it with a three made it a lot tougher. But he made a tough shot.
So what was with, what went into having Andre out there instead of Brooke?
Just speed. Wanted more speed. A lot of long rebounds. They were parking Turner way out at the three, and we wasn't worried about the offensive rebound on that play. So I don't think Andre had a lot to do with that play, to be honest. So.
Second chance points throughout, first half especially, second half was a little better, but in the overtime, there was that string of 5 straight where that just sort of runs energy, runs possessions. Just sort of what did you see in the breakdowns?
Well, I haven't watched the tape yet, so all I saw was them getting the rebound a lot. I thought there were 5 or 6 of them. I felt like we were on the inside position, and they still came up with them. Every time the ball hit the floor, they came up with every loose ball tonight. They crushed us. This game came down to 50-50, and they just did a better job of. Our guys were fighting. They were trying. Couldn't get to loose balls. And when you shoot better than the other team, but they take 17 more shots than you're not going to win that game. It's hard to win that game, and yet we still could have.
Do you feel like that's something without Giannis that you guys can actually win? Just from a size
I don't know if we can win or lose that battle, but we can't get crushed in that battle. Giannis is our best rebounder, and so we don't have him. We still have people who can rebound the ball. I thought a lot of them were long rebounds, though, and we didn't come up with those. And that had nothing to do with Giannis. That is something all of us has to do. I have to watch the tape. It felt like they were just quicker to the ball. I don't know how physical we were on those, but it was one of the key points before the game for us. So we'll see. But overall, I loved our effort. I loved our ability to stick into the game and play through their emotions early. They had us reeling in the first quarter. They sped us up again. And then all of a sudden, we started getting our rhythm. And once we got our rhythm, the game changed completely. So moving forward, I think that'll give us a lot of confidence.
Before the game, Chris is listed as questionable.
Yeah.
Ends up
We're going to list him as questionable for next game.
playing 41 minutes, 42 points, 29 shots. Just what do you see from him to
I
take
just
over
kept checking in on him. We gave him the luxury to call a timeout whenever he needed one. We communicated a ton. Like, you need 2 minutes, I'll give you 2 minutes, 3 minutes here. He said he felt better as the game went on. He told me after the game he felt better. So that's a good sign. Now we got to make sure Dame is okay.
Just what occurred? What was that injury for him?
I think it's Achilles again. So we'll see.
And then just with Chris, leaning on him late, this is kind of your first close playoff game with him, leaning into him late. Just what did you see from –
Yeah, he had it going. That wasn't even a hard one tonight. He had it really going for us. Dame made a couple shots too. Honestly, Dame was really struggling. And in the overtime, he literally said, I'll be the decoy. I just can't go as far as explosion. So I thought Dame just being out there was huge for us because they didn't know that at the time. I think they did a little bit. But anyway, it's still tough. Chris was amazing for us.
Dame, is that more for the 45 minutes, the knee? What do you think, as you say, he was just struggling out there at that point? With Dame, you said, was that more just playing 45 minutes?
No, I think it was just, remember he left the floor. Left the game. I think what that injury was the problem. So we're just taking a lot of hits right now, injury-wise, and our guys are hanging in there. I'm so proud of this team. Dame goes out. We think he's out, he comes back and says, I don't have much, but I'll go. He made a couple of shots after that. Chris, we didn't think was playing. Our guys are hanging in there. Like, I couldn't be more proud of the team.
And just kind of off that, just down 2-1 in the series now. Just how you mentioned just sort of the first quarter getting you sped up. Just how do you bounce back? What kind of things?
Well, listen, we went an overtime game, had a lead. The bounce back won't be hard. I think this team leaves this arena with more confidence. At least we should. But we'll watch the tape. It's too early. I haven't watched the game yet, so we'll watch the tape and see where we can make better adjustments.
We didn't talk about it before the game, but will there be any plan between now and Game 4 to try to get Giannis on the floor? And
only if he's healthy. We're not going to rush anybody back. It's too dangerous to do that.
Bobby 1 for 6 in the first half. Obviously turned it up in the second.
Yeah.
So just first half wise,
he just slowed down. Honestly, I thought they sped him up. They sped the whole team up in the first 7 minutes of the game. I mean, we couldn't run anything. We were breaking plays. It was their pressure. I thought once we finally dealt with their pressure, everybody slowed down and played better, and especially Bobby. Once Bobby got to his rhythm and played at his tempo, he was sensational.
What do you feel like you guys found defensively in the second half?
I thought, number one, we took them out of transition. I thought that was huge. Number two, we were scoring. And the more you score, the more they have to take it out, and the more you can set your defense. And then I thought the zone man going back and forth created hesitation. I thought that was really good for us.
And then just Andre kind of coming in. And
he was absolutely great. I told him this morning, I said, you're playing, I don't know when or where, but you're playing. Where I was most proud of him, funny, wasn't even on the defensive end. We used him to bring the ball up the floor because he was the only one they were not pressuring. And he did a great job. I mean, he had a couple where you can see he didn't know, but for a guy that hasn't played to bring the ball up and get it to the guys in their right spot for the most part was absolutely wonderful.